with the West. That's the view of Dr. Emily Landau, director of the Arms Control Program at the INSS in Tel Aviv. Landau told IBA's Efrat Patat that the main reason Iranian President Rouhani agreed to engage in nuclear negotiations was to gain relief from crippling economic sanctions.
Driving Rouhani to these negotiations and what's driving his message to the United States and all of what we've seen over the past weeks is the sanctions issue. He wants sanctions relief. He doesn't make this a secret, okay? This was his platform before he was elected. He was criticizing Ahmadinejad not for progressing with the nuclear issue, but for doing so with the cost of sanctions. And he was basically saying, we can move forward with the nuclear program, but pay a lower price. It's a question of tactics, changing the tactics, and we've heard Khamenei say this as well. He talked about this so-called heroic flexibility, which everybody is, I think, misinterpreting as if he's going to change course. But what he actually said was heroic flexibility as a tactic, but not to forget who the is and what the issues are.
What sort of positions do you think he'll be bringing to the negotiating table?
First of all, let me say that probably nothing is going to come of this first negotiation because they will be saying, well, this is our first meeting, it's the new president, there's a new nuclear negotiator on the Iranian side, we have to get to know each other, you have your proposal, we have our proposal, the Iranians will say, and we still need to discuss all of these preliminary things. It's too early to expect any concrete results. I can almost predict the script that we will hear after this first negotiation. For the longer term, I think it's obvious that there was going to be a continuation of the negotiation. What Rouhani and his team will be focused on is getting the best deal that they can on the nuclear issue at the lowest price, to get the sanctions off their back, by giving the absolute minimum that they can get away with on the nuclear issue. And that's the challenge for the P5+1 is not to fall into that trap, not to be thinking, wait, if we're too hard-nosed, we're going to lose the bilateral relationship. Stay focused on the nuclear issue and don't lift sanctions until there's a real prospect of a deal. A note of caution. There's the bilateral issue, there are regional issues, but right now there's the nuclear issue. They're very close to their goal. We're at a very dangerous stage. It's not 5 years ago where there was still a lot of time to discuss all of these issues. The nuclear issue needs to be dealt with, and it needs to be dealt with very quickly. Time is of the essence.